Earlier this year, all eyes were on Ottawa. For 3 freezing weeks this winter, the national capital was occupied by hundreds of trucks, cars, tents, and protesters, all here in opposition to vaccine mandates, vaccines themselves, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government. As the city laid under occupation for all those weeks, people across the country were asking, where are the cops? It turns out one of the critical problems facing the Ottawa Police Service and law enforcement more broadly came from within the police themselves. Law enforcement and national security sources who spoke to The National say there was a persistent problem of leaks of operational information from police to the protesters. These problems have been laid bare in recent weeks at the Public Order Emergency Commission held here in Ottawa. At the commission, we've heard from lawyer Keith Wilson, who represented some of the organizers of the convoy that headed to Ottawa. He said they got advance notice about some of the police operations before they even happened.
There was numerous times where information would come into the operations center from various police sources that a raid was imminent, and it happened many times.
My sources say these leaks were so troubling because they may have actually jeopardized operations to seize fuel that was being passed around downtown and to clear out supply depots that kept the occupation going. Now, Ottawa police say they didn't have to cancel any operations because of any operational leaks, but nevertheless, there was an anxiety inside the Ottawa Police Service that their fellow members, who may be sympathetic to the occupation, may have been the ones passing on information.
There was some concern that possibly a potential plan to clear Rideau Sussex might have been leaked. Is that right?
There were some concerns about information flowing out of the organization, yes. There was one member that I was aware of, and we shut down his access to his corporate accounts. But I don't know what came of that investigation. It just at the time, as a precaution, we shut down. He wasn't currently working, he was on leave of absence.
The Ottawa Police Service have confirmed to me they've opened multiple investigations into these leaks. While they have launched disciplinary action against officers who donated to the convoy, they've not yet laid any charges based on those leaks. Ottawa Police have confirmed they have another investigation ongoing, investigating claims made at the commission. A couple of weeks ago, Deputy Chief Steve Bell confirmed that some of that information has led to an ongoing investigation.
The information that was presented yesterday at the Emergency Act inquiry was net new information to us that we had not yet investigated, and we've already, as of last night, have initiated an internal investigation.
Later on, as the federal government was preparing to invoke the Emergencies Act and end the occupation for good, there were more leaks, this time from the RCMP to Jeremy Mackenzie, the leader of the Diagolon movement, a far-right organization that has talked openly about killing public officials.
I've got some bad news from some sources inside the police infrastructure. Riot cops are being assembled and bussed into the area. They're planning on mass arrests.
Just a week later, police disrupted what they say was a plot to murder RCMP officers and civilians in Coutts, Alberta. The members arrested have ties to the Diagolon movement. Police also seized more than a dozen long gun handguns and a whole bunch of ammunition and high-capacity magazines. At the same time, Mackenzie was in Ottawa. So was Alex Vreen, a fellow member of Diagolon, who on his social media channels was posting what he said were communications from the Ottawa Police Service letting him know about future operations. Mackenzie testified that it was an RCMP officer who had reached out directly to offer him this information. After the Emergencies Act was invoked, that RCMP officer provided him something else.
This person had sent me, there were screenshots, I guess, of either a WhatsApp group chat or a Telegram, and I said, I will publish this. And they said, that's why we sent it to you. So I did. I released that on Telegram, and that went out.
Those group chats show RCMP officers in downtown Ottawa getting ready to deploy in that major operation that reclaimed the capital. They included the names, faces, and phone numbers of those RCMP officers. So I'm just waiting to chat with Christian Leuprecht. He is an expert on all things security, intelligence, and policing. I'm keen to get a sense of exactly what these leaks mean for the Ottawa Police Service and the RCMP and why they keep happening.
Tactically, of course, it gives the protesters a significant leg up in terms of anticipating police tactics, police posture, police resourcing. We need to find the individuals that leaked intelligence, and we need to make sure that they are prosecuted, because you couldn't think of a more fundamental breach of trust by a public officer and an officer that is sworn to keep the peace. At the same time, we need to ask the broader questions about what would cause an individual to share or leak that type of intelligence.
Going forward, as law enforcement in Canada struggles to deal with the threat posed by far-right movements, it's going to be really important that police departments get their own houses in order.